Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another Disney video. Today I want to reflect a bit on having an annual pass, which I've had for about 2 years, not consecutively. There's been some months in between where I was not a pass holder because it just didn't make sense. There weren't trips happening in that time. But I have had an annual pass for 2 full years, and it really made me think about the things that no one told me about having an annual pass that I had to learn after getting one. The first one is it would be an excuse to go more often, and especially for someone who doesn't even live in the state, that's a pretty big excuse, I guess, to decide to pay money for a flight and pay money for a hotel and get down there. But when you get an annual pass, you're always doing the math in your head of like, well, I've got to use it, right? Like, the more I use it, the more I'm sort of making back on it and it's becoming more worthwhile and I have it, so why not go? I found myself making, 3 trips a year because I can. Whereas maybe originally I had planned only 2 trips. It's very easy to go, ooh, well, maybe I could just go down for a weekend. Or maybe I could just fit in 4 days in here or there. Or, ooh, can I take some time off from work? Yeah, it was really dangerous. So I feel like when you have an annual pass, whether you're a Florida resident or not, you are gonna make excuses to go more often because you're gonna feel like you spent the money and you have the ticket, so you might as well go. I think it can be super, super dangerous to your wallet. Number 2 is that discounts change a lot and are so many that you shouldn't try to memorize them. Just ask and remember to ask. So when I first got my annual pass, I kind of forgot that I had it and kind of forgot that there was discounts and felt like I needed to go on the website or something and find out where it was ahead of time, and it was so silly. I could have just went up to any cast member at a restaurant or store and said, do you take an annual pass discount? And they're gonna say yes or no. But I would totally forget, and sometimes they'd ask me, do you have an annual pass? And I go, oh, I do, yes. And, go in my wallet and get my 10% off. I think it was 20% at one point for the 45th anniversary. And I don't know why I thought that I was just gonna memorize where I had to go or even remember that I had an annual pass sitting in my wallet. It was really weird. So don't expect that you're gonna just know that. The next one is that all of those free annual pass items from festivals and holidays and all of that are just going to pile up in your house. At least they do for me. And some of them, if it's artwork, I've been able to frame and hang up, but there have just been things that I've gotten that just seem to pile up. I just can't seem to get to finding a place for them. Magnets are all over my fridge. It's getting a little bit crazy there. I know recently they did a cutting board at Food and Wine, and it was this tiny little cheese board, and quite honestly, I probably would have never used it if I actually went and got it. I have 2 really nice, great wooden cutting boards. I would probably put that in a kitchen cabinet somewhere and completely forget about it. So at least for me, I would run around and get all these free annual pass holder things because they were exclusive, and now they're just randomly in places. So the next one is, just because you have free photos, free memory maker, doesn't mean you're ever gonna remember to take photos. I seriously forget. Beyond obviously the rides where it just naturally happens, I forget that I have this as part of my annual pass, and I never take advantage of PhotoPass photos. I see the photographers all over the place. I don't put 2 and 2 together and think, oh, I should take a photo. I did, I think, the first trip when I got my annual pass, because we were like, ooh, this is great, they're all free, and we ran around and did a bunch of them. I never remember to anymore. I never remember to download my photos. I download them for videos sometimes as examples of something. I forget, and it's kind of crazy because it is such a great value to have that as part of your annual pass, but it's just something that I don't remember. Again, I am traveling with adult friends and sometimes solo, so probably a bit different than if you're a family. If you're a family, you might be very well aware of taking photos together, but for me, man, I just completely forget that it's even a perk that I have. And lastly, nobody told me that even when I tell myself, well, maybe it doesn't make sense to be an annual pass holder next year, I'm still finding ways to try and afford it. I'm still sitting here going, well, I mean, if I renew, I do get that discount rather than letting it lapse and getting a new one, and maybe it makes sense. Oh, but I'm not gonna go to Disney World probably till November of next year. But maybe I can fit in an April trip, and then I can still get the annual pass. This is what happens. Like, it's really, really bad. And you start thinking about, maybe I should just save up and renew, and maybe I can fit in another trip. And honestly, it's just like, Disney, take my money. That's basically what I'm saying. So that's really dangerous. If you get an annual pass, you are going to be more and more tempted to keep renewing because you're just going to justify it. Like, it's been so sweet having an annual pass that I don't know how not to anymore. So there you go. Those are some things that nobody ever told me about having an annual pass to Disney World. I would love to know some of the things that you never really thought about before having an annual pass, if you're an annual pass holder. If you're not, I'd like to know if you've been thinking about getting one. If you have and you have questions about it, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to make a video about that for you. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, you should subscribe. I make videos every single week, and I super appreciate you guys hanging around. Disney is so soon, you guys. I'm so pumped. Woo! Whew. How to get that out. Get all the pumpedness out. All right, I'm good. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of the day.